Hey friends, I thought somebody else might find it cool if I did like a clip together of how I turned Susan Garrett's Nosebridge concept into a contact tail. In one of my bite sport classes, we were being shown how to do a contact tail using collars. I figured I could just shape it, so I was flipping through Wag Nation looking for some inspiration, and I found it in her Nosebridge skill. So here's how we did it. So first I needed to put value into a shoulder target. I figured, because I was going to use that to build value into them touching my leg. So I did a few repetitions with a target stick. I just put the target stick on my dog's shoulder and I just clicked that. They didn't have to do anything. I was just putting value and touching their shoulder, and I would rotate to each shoulder. Then after I did a few reps of that, I increased the criteria. I would hold the target stick away from their shoulder just a few inches and wait for them to offer to move into the target stick themselves, and then I would click that. Once I saw that that seemed to be working and they had some value for moving their shoulder into the target stick, the next step I figured was using the target stick on my leg to start building value in them moving their shoulder and pressing it up against my leg, and then I would click there. I wasn't too sure moving forward from here how I was going to combine that with the skill of looking at the thing that you want on the floor, which would eventually become looking at a decoy while shoulder targeting. So I started putting cookies on the floor out front of them and releasing them every now and then to take the cookie off the floor in front just to get some traction. Either way, the next step was clear. It was to fade the stick out and get some nice clean shoulder targeting up against just my leg without the help of the stick. And so that's what I did. Next up was building value at looking forward at the thing that you want, and then shoulder touching. And so I just started to add that in with the cookies, some toys on the floor, and even their morning supplements. I would ask them to shoulder touch while looking forward before releasing them to the thing that they wanted. The skill is finally starting to look like what it might look like at the end when he can focus on a decoy and maintain a shoulder target to my leg, but we're far from being able to name it yet. So right now the cue for him to shoulder target is I put a thing that he wants out front. We're still working on some toy drive with Kiba, and so at this point, it's only been a couple of weeks and Kiba hasn't moved forward as far as Trico because of the toy challenges. So moving forward with just the examples with Trico here, right now, when he wants something, he will sometimes slam his shoulder into my side, which I absolutely love. But I am at the point where I need to clean this up. So when I'm walking forward with him, I have accidentally released him to an odor the second, because we're both walking, we're both in motion, where his ribs have contacted my leg. And so now I'm starting to get some rib targeting. And so I've got to figure out how to put more value back into the shoulder and how to troubleshoot the accidental rib targeting that I've been getting with the walks and the odor releases. I also haven't figured out the layer where I move sideways, like towards his direction, like into him. So that's another thing that I need to figure out before I name the cue. So we still have a long ways to go, but I thought it was super cool that we could just come up with this in a couple of weeks as an alternative to what I was being taught in class. And I would love to hear you guys' ideas on maybe how to try to tackle those couple of challenges that are still left before I get to name the cue. But hey, if you watched this far, then thanks for geeking out with me. I thought this was a super fun idea, and I really just was excited to share.